Alright guys, I know I'm wearing a Marvel shirt, but really I'm a DC fan. Let's talk Justice League. Run intro. Anyway, look guys, so check it out. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was really a huge fan of Justice League. Like really, I went with my best friends. I went with a group of guys. I went with some of the guys I played basketball with. Some of my older friends and my best friend. We're both big DC fans. We're both big fans of the Justice League animated series. We're both big fans of Batman. We just love DC. We also love Marvel. Hey. Look, the film was decent to me. I don't care what anyone says. When I was in the cinema, all these things people are, oh, there's so much wrong with the film. It's a mess. All this stuff. I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with that because I don't get where the mess is. That's one thing I don't get. Like, is it because you're comparing it to comics? Like, what is it that we're comparing it to? Because you have to take it for what it, in my opinion, yeah, I had to take it for what it was. And I knew Batman was going to be an older Batman because he was in Batman v Superman. I knew he was going to be an older, more vicious, like, kind of different version of the character that we haven't really seen in the comics. I knew that. I knew Flash wasn't going to be how Barry Allen's supposed to be. Because Barry Allen, in the comics, is a grown man. He's not a child. He's a grown man who is an established, he's an established crime scene investigator. You know, he's a grown man. He's big, tall, he's strong, and he's blonde. He's not a black-haired kind of like kid who's depressed about his dad. He's a grown man. And he kind of kicked off the Silver Age in the comic books. Wonder Woman can't fly, but she's still great. Like, her movie was really good. I enjoyed it. And here's the thing. We didn't really get a lot of detail on the characters in the movie, but I really like the characters. I didn't expect to like Cyborg. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never really liked Cyborg in anything but Teen Titans. And he's only been in like a few animated movies. I think he was in Flashpoint, he was in Justice League, War when they fight Darkseid. But yeah, look, I didn't really like him in anything but Teen Titans. But I really liked him in this film. A lot of the time when he was doing stuff, I was like, what's he doing? Like, spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil the whole film in this review. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, in that scene where he flies away when they're in, under the harbour, I was like, why is he flying away? Why is he bailing? Comes back with the mother box. So he has purpose in his movements. Aquaman. I really liked him in the film. I think he was kind of cliche with the lines he had and stuff. I'm going to keep it real. But I liked him as a character. He was fun. He gave the film a lot of fun. The film was fun overall. I don't care what anyone's got to say. The film was fun, it was beautiful, and the way the characters bounced off each other was really good. So what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to hate on it and say, oh, well, this, Joss Whedon changed this, Zack Snyder, The Vision. Man, yeah, I want to see that Zack Snyder cut. I'm not going to lie to you, but at the same time, I heard in the Zack Snyder cut, like, Cyborg dies. Like, a lot of stuff happens that is like, what? Now, Steppenwolf getting killed by Darkseid, this is what I heard about the Zack Snyder cut. Tyrone Magnus did a video where he talks about the Zack Snyder cut and he reads the article with like the changes. Darkseid killing Steppenwolf would have been fine with me. Why? I'm going to talk about this after, actually. I'm going to talk about why that would have been fine. It would have been fine. I was going to actually talk about Steppenwolf. It would have been fine because that's probably what Darkseid would do if he was failed by someone who's weaker than him. Because Darkseid is an intimidating dictator type character. Also, I think Steppenwolf was already in exile, so it makes sense, right? Yeah? So, I would have really liked to see that. And I would have liked if they would have gave us Darkseid. Just to, here you go. He exists. Because his name was mentioned in the film, right? But they didn't do that. Here's the thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we both was like waiting for it to come out and stuff. A lot of people say it felt too short. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not think it was too short. I never think 2 hours is too short for a movie. Would I have wanted more? Yes. But I don't think it was too short. The fact that it's shorter than Wonder Woman's a bit strange. But I think the general consensus is they did it to get it on more movie screens. And I think that backfired. That's why it bombed at the box office. That backfired because I was looking forward to when I first Googled Justice League before it came out, I was looking forward to that 2 hour and 50-minute film. So essentially, if you've cut 50 minutes from a film, you've basically took the film to pieces. Like you've basically, there's a third of the film that's gone, you know? There's there's a lot of the film that's gone, you know? So, you know, it's kind of a struggle, you know? That's all, you know, you've took a lot. You've took 50 minutes. Sorry, Warner Brothers. It's a bad move. But yeah, look. End of the day, another thing I heard was I heard Steppenwolf was a weak villain. I really liked him. I really liked what he did in the film. You know, I really enjoyed him as a character, as a fan of the comics, as a fan of the source material. Because Steppenwolf's never really been a big character in the comics. You know, he doesn't really have any major arcs or anything. So you know, for them to take him on it, I'm gonna keep it real. As a DC fan, I'm gonna keep it 100% real. That version of Steppenwolf from that movie is cooler than any version of Steppenwolf that's ever existed in the comics. Because in the comics, he's got dogs and stuff. Now, would it have been cool if you had some, like, mech monster dogs in the film? Yeah, it would have been hella cool. Not just all these parademons. If he would have had some, like, big dogs he can summon, or with his axe he, like, strikes the ground and, like, dogs. That would have been so cool. Doesn't have that. That would have been cool, though. But, in the comics, he doesn't really do much. His original appearance is in New Gods. And he gets bodied by Highfather. When Highfather's just normal Isaiah when he's a soldier. I think Steppenwolf like kills his girl or something. And Highfather's like, what? Goes after him, just like, you know, Highfather's got this cool armor on, he finds him, he's like Steppenwolf, bodies him. I think he kills him, I'm not sure. I think he kills him. So, you know, then he's in Earth 2. Later on in the New 52, he's in Earth 2, which is a separate world storyline. And I think he ends up getting killed again. So he's kind of like, he's hit and miss. Cool character, but he's hit and miss. Justice League made him pseudo-relevant. Like now in the comics, they can start making books where he's in the books and he's more powerful and because he's had a movie. But that's what I mean. A lot of people say he wasn't a threat. My point is this, he was a threat until Superman showed up. They weren't going to beat him, in my opinion. If you look at how they were fighting him, they weren't going to beat him without Superman. Superman showed up, absolutely bodies him, and then, you know, he can't win. But before Superman showed up, he was keeping Wonder Woman at bay, he was keeping Aquaman at bay, he's ripping Cyborg into pieces, he was doing bits. He was, you know, he got all the boom tubes, he beat Aquaman underwater. He beat Aquaman underwater. He took Wonder Woman on hand to hand pretty well. He bodied all the Amazons on Themyscira. This dude in this movie, to me and to my boys, we was all together and we was all agreeing this guy's hard. Then when he says that line, "You will love me," I was like, I had to wipe my head. There was no sweat, but I had to wipe it because I was like, this guy is cold. This guy does not care. And that's where I am with it. That's where I am. I'm like, Steppenwolf was a cool character in this film. Like it or not. It's my opinion. Other people can say, no, he was way cooler than he's ever been in the comics. That's where I stand with that. And that doesn't happen often. Because Loki in the movies is not cool like he is in the comics. No. Loki in the movies is okay. You know, comic book Loki's cool. He's been doing dirt for years. He's got mad amounts of power. He's cool. Anyway, go forward. Superman. A lot of people were complaining about Superman's like face, the animation and stuff. Did I notice it when I was watching it? Honestly, no. I tried to look for it. I really did because I saw some stuff on Instagram a few days earlier. Couldn't really find anything, to be honest with you. Did I like the way Superman was brought back to life? I didn't mind. I thought, why not use the mother box? Here's the thing about movies that people don't understand. Movies have to use elements that they have because they're not a comic book. They can't just do what comics do, you know? They have to be, you know, they have to use things that are within there. They have to show that the mother boxes do something. So we can use it to bring Superman back. Also, the terraform planets. Other than that, you know, they've been stated that they're power, but we don't know what they can do. So there you go. They can bring people back to life and stuff. There you go. It's pretty cool, right? So, the way Superman was in the film. Now, this is going to be a big segment, and I might go over with this. I'm already at 10 minutes. Look, I'm going to keep it real, camera. I'm going to keep it real, YouTube. I'm going to keep it real, people. Look, I loved it. I loved it. This is my favourite Superman so far in any movie. Christopher Reeve, you know, I'm sorry to all the fans that love Christopher Reeve, and rest in peace, Christopher Reeve. You were awesome, and it's awesome to see you brought back to life in the animations Superman vs Hulk that are on YouTube. People watch them, watch all of them. There's 4. Watch Superman vs Hulk, watch all of them. But this Superman was so cool. Now, I don't get a lot of stuff to do with the character. I don't get why his suit looks brighter, but I guess it's just a color grading thing. It's because the entire movie's brighter because they've changed the style of coloring. Like Batman v Superman was very cyan toned. There was a lot of cyan and there was a lot of like, you know, darks and stuff. In this film, they've kind of upped the color and stuff like that, and it's very beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Batman v Superman was kind of beautiful in a kind of like high detail way. This film is beautiful in a way that everything is super sharp, crisp, and the colours are beautiful. Flash's lightning looks incredible. We're still talking about Superman, by the way. The way he's characterised in this film, he is Superman. He comes down, he's like, I do believe in truth, and I'm a big fan of justice. I believe that's what he says. I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, fans. I'm sorry. I've seen the film a lot of times. That's one of my favourite scenes. I'm just awestruck. He comes down just like Superman, and the way he deals with Steppenwolf makes, you know, as a fan of Superman, it's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's Superman. This guy throws a punch. Superman perceives this punch at super speed, dodges it, looks at Steppenwolf, punches him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Steppenwolf's like hesitant to hit him the second time. And Superman's go, poof, and he goes really far, and then he comes down and he talks to Batman. It's like, I wanted to cry. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Now, would I have liked more of him? Yeah. But the parts with him in, and let's talk about that fight when he comes. So when they bring him back to life, he's crazy, he's out of his mind. Because they bring him back to life, you know, he's dead, whatever. He freaks out. They all try and fight him. And it just shows you that he's stronger than the whole league. You know, and I could be wrong, but currently, he's stronger than the whole league. He bodies the whole league. And they're really trying to stop him. And he just bodies them, you know. You know, he bodies Wonder Woman. He bodies Batman. Batman's a human. Yeah. And we'll talk about that later. That's another video. Batman's not just a human, but, you know, come on. He bodies Flash. Aquaman just gets punched somewhere. I don't know where. He bodies Cyborg. Basically, they all try and fight him, and they all grab him, and he's fighting them all at once, and he's overpowering all of them at once, right? Then Flash tries to run at him, because Flash is fast, you know. And in this DC universe, we haven't really seen Superman's speed yet. Yeah, we can fly at incredible speeds. So we know he kind of has super speed, but we never seen him do super speed before. Which was something I was thinking, I was hoping that he doesn't only have super speed when he flies. He doesn't. He can move at super speed just like Flash. So Flash runs at him, and he's got all the heroes like this. And Flash runs, and Flash is looking at him, and Superman goes and looks at him while he's in super speed mode, and Flash is like, no way. He's like, Flash, like, he can see me. So yeah, Superman throws everyone away. They obviously, you know, it's within like a second. They don't know. He's probably moving at light speed or something. They don't know what's going on. He throws them. During the time they're probably drifting away or not even knowing they've been thrown. Him and Flash have this super speed exchange where he's just trying to punch Flash, and Flash is just dodging him and stuff, and then he ends up catching Flash off guard, and Flash falls out of speed, and then I think that's when it ends. But it's just really cool to see Superman at this level of power. He seems like he's so powerful, That's the problem. I guess that's the problem, innit? Like, it's like a contradiction, because it's like, you didn't seem this powerful when you fought Doomsday, but at the same time, you got to understand, when you really look at that Batman v Superman battle, Superman did a lot in that fight. You know, he fought Doomsday, he punched him, he took him to space, they got nuked. Superman's he healed from being nuked, like he looked dead, and he used his healing factor to, you know, get back, and he was perfect health. Then he got blasted with lasers and he didn't have any scratches on him, and, you know, he was... So, I guess he kind of has been shown powerful, but he was never really... We never got to really see his power the way it was supposed to be conveyed. You know, from jump, in my opinion, because this is Superman we're talking about. This is the character, you know. And I've always kind of been on the fence when people say, oh, Marvel make better films than DC. And I have to say, yeah, right now they do. Because they show their characters the respect they deserve. You know, they didn't go and kill a great character in its second film. Superman's second film was Batman v Superman. You know, it wasn't the second Man of Steel. It kind of was, but it wasn't the second Man of Steel. But he was killed in that film. They just killed him, you know? And it's like, why? Why did they do that? Who knows? But anyway, you know, it's good to see him get his due, because he deserves that, because he's Superman. And that's how I felt. So I was happy about that. You know, as I said before, I wanted more, but hey. So let's talk about Flash. And I've talked briefly about him. I loved him. I loved him in this film. I didn't expect him to do as much. You know, the way he looked in the trailer was like he was afraid to do anything. As soon as he got, you know, that first, he has that conversation with Batman. After that, he's doing everything. You know, he's running around. He's like, I'm on book duty. He's doing bits. He's saving people. He's having his own sequences. I didn't expect him to be as fast as he was. Not at all. I expected him to be way slower. In this film, he legit looks like he's just as fast as like how they made Quicksilver in the X-Men films. And Quicksilver in those movies is OP. Quicksilver's really, really fast in those films. Flash looks like he's about that fast or a little bit slower. You know, depending on how nerdy you want to get about it. But it looks like he's probably that fast. Like he's really fast. And it's beautiful. The way it's animated, the way the electric looks. I enjoyed him as a character as well. He kind of has this personality where it's like, whoa, this is not like normal Barry Allen from the comics. This is some different guy. But I like this guy because this guy is crazy. Like, he's like, oh, I'm afraid of bugs. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He's like, something about, he says a lot of crazy stuff. He's like, I don't get brunch. Like, he says so much crazy stuff. Like, I feel like they were just trying to throw jokes in there. But he says a lot of crazy stuff. And you're like, this guy's character is quite unique. Like, this Flash, he... You know, he's his own character. You know, he's not everyone else's character. He's not every other version. He's his own character. And I liked it. You know, really liked it. He had some great scenes. You know, he has a scene where him and Superman at the end, spoiler alert, they're about to race. And he doesn't know where the ocean is, and Superman has to point him in the right direction. And you know, so yeah, it was great, man. You know, it was great. I wanted to see like certain scenes they cut out. They cut scenes out. So there was supposed to be a Flash scene where Flash saves Iris. Like, he pokes his finger through a window at super speed and it all shatters, and he goes outside and saves her from a car crash. They cut that out. I want that in the DVD version or the Blu-ray version, whatever. I want that scene. And there was a few scenes where Cyborg starts flying and he puts a mask on. Where was the mask? Where was Cyborg's like battle mode and stuff? That's what I wanted to see. Stuff like that cut out. So there was a lot that I wanted to see that wasn't directly in the film, and you know, but hey, still loved it. Still have watched it multiple times. I can't complain. You know, I'm not gonna talk about Aquaman or Wonder Woman because I enjoyed Aquaman. You know, I feel like there should have been more of him. Atlantis was really beautiful. It was crazy. I don't get why Wonder Woman can't fly in these films, but I kind of like it. And if they keep it like that, I still kind of like it. Why do I like it? Okay, let's look into this. Marvel, in their movies, actively depowers their characters. And no one cares, right? No one cares. We still watch the films. We still love the films. I don't mind DC doing it a little bit. I didn't even mind with Superman at first. I just kind of wanted him to have super speed. But I didn't mind him the way he was in Man of Steel when he was just flying and stuff. I didn't mind him like that. I thought still it's really cool. He's really powerful. Still enjoyed the character, you know. But yeah, Marvel has done it. You know, most films do it because the version of the character that we're accustomed to isn't always the best version in their opinion. Now, Wonder Woman not being able to fly is a bit strange because in her movies she kind of levitates and stuff. In her movies she shows that she has deeper potential. I remember her movie was set 100 years ago. So by right, she should kind of have mastered that by now. But at the same time, she hasn't been very active. She's been very much on a depressed vibe for 100 years. Oh, my boy died. You know what I'm saying? So, what can I say? But yeah, other than that, she's great. She's great. She's a warrior. She's fierce. I'm hoping in a future story arc, she gets into something where she has to learn to fly. You know, that's it. Oh yeah, one more thing. They showed the gods in a flashback fighting Steppenwolf. They showed ancient civilizations, gods, humans, and they showed a Green Lantern all fighting Steppenwolf. The Green Lantern got killed. Steppenwolf killed him. But the gods didn't die. They was just kicking ass, man. Zeus blasts Steppenwolf, lets him know what time it is. They looked ultra cool. And if you pause it, you can see that the gods are actually giants in comparison to humans. They're kind of like how Steppenwolf is. Steppenwolf's quite tall as well. So there's a lot of little details in there that we didn't get to see because we didn't have that cut of the film. And it also had dialogue in the other cut. So it's like we missed a lot. But there was still very cool moments in it. And I really, really enjoyed it. That's all I can say. I am really not one of these people that looked at it and was like, I don't like this. But you know, I'm one of the minority. I really like Batman v Superman, and so did my mum, and so did me and my boys. You know, we all enjoyed it. I can't complain. I've watched it multiple times because I really love those characters. You know, yeah, Batman was murdering people. We'll talk about that in another video. But at the same time, I love the film. Anyway, people, look, I have been Fiji. This is where I think and I feel. Thank you for listening to my opinions. It means so much to me. Like and subscribe. It helps me get off the ground. And share if you want to. You know, you don't have to. But anyway, guys, I've been Fiji. Thank you. See you later.